What's up? This is Chris from Hair Loss from Steroids. We're coming at you from the Good Looking Loser studio in somewhere. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to do a test to see if my friend's HGH is really HGH. Now, unfortunately, you can't ever verify HGH without a little bit more of a sophisticated test, possibly a lab. I'm not entirely sure. But one thing that people do is try to see if it's HCG. A lot of vendors out there fake their HGH. The market was really big for that in like 2009 to really 2012, 2011. It's been pretty recent. So a lot of people were getting HGH, thought they were getting HGH, but it was really HCG. And from HCG, those give similar effects, except not really anabolically like HGH. You will get bloating, you will get water retention. HCG is going to raise your estrogen and testosterone, while HGH isn't, but it'll kind of mimic how it feels, especially at higher doses. And that's what we wanted to check. So one way to check that is HCG is present in the urine of pregnant women. Now, in men, it has a different effect than in women. In men, it basically keeps testicular function going, or can help you restore it post-cycle. So, since it's in the urine of pregnant women, there's a way to check it, and that's by getting a pregnancy test. Okay, this is a basic pregnancy test from Walmart. Couple bucks. And they wished me luck when I bought it. So anyway, what we would do, hypothetically, right, and this is what the video will show, I'll be using some hypothetical HGH, and then after that, I'll be seeing if hypothetical HCG will register a positive. So basically, you're going to want to just squirt it on the test. You'll see me do it. Put this thing back on and leave it and walk away and cross your fingers and stuff like that. I'm so happy I'm not pregnant, but or can't get that way, you know, at least supposedly. So that should verify if it is HCG. Now, just because your HGH does not register a positive as being HCG, it doesn't necessarily mean it's HGH, but it's usually one or the other, okay? HGH is expensive. It's easy to fake for HCG, but you're not going to get it faked for something like insulin growth factor, which is way more expensive. That's not even in the ballpark there. Perhaps some sort of peptide or something like that, but you know, this is a good way to figure out what it is, because stuff is usually HGH, or it's HCG, or it's bunk as shit. But if it's bunk as shit and doesn't work, you're not going to get the bloating, you're not going to get the fat loss, you're not going to get the, you know, the carpal tunnel kind of effects. That HCH, excuse me, is very much known for giving. So enjoy the test, and yeah, wish me luck. Hey, what's going on out there? We're going to do a test to see if this HGH is in fact HGH and not HCG. Now, how we find that out is relatively simple actually, but it's kind of funny. I grabbed a pregnancy test, okay? And you can get them from anywhere. I wouldn't be like a lot of girls and try to shoplift them. Pay for it because they're pretty cheap. You can get a generic one really cheap. So if this is HCG and not HGH, it will test positive. And the reason for that is HCG is in the urine of pregnant women. Okay? And for guys, it functions to keep testicular function normal when you're doing cycles, and then possibly if you use it after the cycle to restore testicular function. But anyway, this test should be simple. Here is this right here. I'm going to open up the test like that. Hold the test in my mouth for a second. Alright, so in here, hypothetically, is HGH. Hypothetically. So what we're going to do is squirt it on the test. They said it only should take a few drops, so after that, just like if I was testing if I was pregnant, I just put this thing back on, put it on a flat surface and leave it for 10 minutes, and we'll find out what happens. Catch you soon. Alright, so we're back, and I shot this, the hypothetical HGH on the pregnancy test, and we were waiting for a result, and we waited the amount of time that it should get a result. And there's no result on this, surprisingly. I'm a little irritated with that, but I'm not really sure why. And again, the reason we're doing this test is a lot of times out there, HGH, and this is just hypothetically HGH, is faked as HCG. Okay? Usually suppliers out there don't give their customers just, you know, nothing. They give them something to have some sort of effect, but is not the real deal. So there's no result on this, but what I'm going to do to see if, you know, anything's going to work here, I'm going to shoot some, hypothetically, some HCG on it. Okay, so this should turn the pregnancy test to positive. And I'm really surprised nothing registered, but I guess you really have to soak it, as members of the opposite sex do. Alright, so I have about a milliliter of hypothetical HCG now. I'm going to saturate this guy in it, or this girl, whatever. Alright, so that's on there pretty good. Ooh, I already see a result coming. Let me put this on here. Alright, see now that window was, a second ago, was completely empty. Guys, it looks like I'm pregnant. If that thing comes through, I'm pregnant. Ah! But I'm not sure yet. That looks like that line's coming through though. We'll be back in, they said the results can appear as early as like 30 seconds, so, what do you think, pregnant or not? Think it's getting there? Yeah. Not quite. I'm supposed to wait for like 3 minutes or so. It's the longest 3 minutes of my life. Here, turn it off. This test has been brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken. Anyway, we're back with our pregnancy test here, and why don't you get a look at that right here. You can see, and yeah, zoom in as you can. Zoom in and let that thing focus out. Pull it up to see if we can make it a little clearer. There we go. Now, it's not a perfect plus, because the plus is the pregnancy, but going by these directions, made in China of course, that is what it looks like pretty much right there, just like that second one. And actually the line upwards also means it's pregnant. The only thing that means not pregnant is the sideways line. So we're definitely actually pregnant here. Because look at it, it has the line straight up, just like that. So we should have noticed that within like 10 seconds of doing this, but we were waiting for that other plus to appear. So this hypothetical HCG was HCG. The HGH was not. The hypothetical HGH was not HCG. What the HGH really was, we don't know. Perhaps really HGH. Perhaps just bacteriostatic water. Perhaps nothing. But we do know the HGH that I was a little skeptical of, that I thought might have been HCG, is not HCG. So that's good news. It's a win for everybody, and thank you for tuning in.